Okay, so I just wanted to record this video, even though the instructions are here. I'll just go over how you can use it, and we can then think about how we could like incorporate the other stuff that you talked about. So the first thing that we should be doing is let's start off with the very last thing from the drop downs. So here we have the classes names, and here we have the holiday tracker. So for example, we talked about, let's say, for example, the 1st of September, let's say it's a holiday. You could just come in here and, for example, type in as holiday. And what it's gonna do is in the plan input sheet, if you come down here, it's automatically going to flag this September 1st as a holiday based on what we have. If we remove it, it will automatically mark this as a working day right here. So that's the first thing. The second thing is you would have to start off with adding the content for, let's say, the classes. So these columns up on the top, these are what we entered in the drop down here, right here. So if you come back here, this is where you would need to add in all your classes information. And currently, what you have to do is you have to add for each a title, a description, and a homework or note. You could leave that blank or as it is if you want. And if you want to bulk add, let's say, if you want to add only the titles first, you could just click in here in the slicer. Just click in here. It's automatically going to filter you for the titles, and you could just add all of these. So what I've done is I've populated it from the file that you shared, just so we have some data. And then if you click on this button, it's going to clear the filter, and you would see that right over here. So you can update anything here. These input below cells actually describe that anything, and then that you input something, it's going to be an input from your side. One more thing is, because it's structured in a way that's not very easy to work with, I had to use Power Query to restructure it in this format, where we have classes as rows and title, description, and homework notes as columns. And I had to use Power Query for it. So it's very simple. You don't need to do anything here. This is just view only. What only you need to do is, for example, you make any change here. For example, you replace this XYZ with this. Once you make that change, you'll need to come into this sheet. And then what you're going to do is you're going to click on query, and you're going to click on refresh. And it will basically change this XYZ into thema 1. So that's all you need to do. And you can like do it after you've made all the changes. It's not necessary to make these changes every single time. Or what you could do is you could refresh, make it to refresh every, let's say, X minutes, 30 minutes, 60 minutes, and it will just do that automatically. You won't have to worry about, syncing your changes. So that's this sheet where you enter anything. And now this is the plan input, where you're going to input, let's say, per day, per, let's say, uh, and then also the times of which you're going to teach a particular class. So let's say if you come in here, and I populated these for now, but let's say you wanna teach, for example, this is a drop down. You can click on here, and then you can like select any of these. Let's say you want to teach this class, PA1, right? And let's say the ID is basically the class number. For example, which class, first, second, third. Let's say you're going to teach the first one. Click here, and what it's going to do is it's automatically going to populate this in this. So currently you would see in the weekly monthly sheet, it's all like in a calendar format, where you could see all the working days. And the green ones actually show that the classes where you already have, let's say, inputted anything, uh, we have planned actually anything for now. So the ones that don't have any color, that mean that you don't have planned anything on them. So that's something that you could look into. And for example, if I remove, currently this shows green because it's something is here. If I remove this, it will automatically turn white. That means you don't have anything planned. Now, if we need to deep dive into it, let's say, see at a particular day, time, what content do we have? We have two options. So you would see on the left, you have like a lot of pluses button. And what we have done is simply I have collapsed the rows in between them, just to make sure that you can easily see the content, and for example, if you want to go for March 1st, you could just come down in here and just open this. When you have done the edit, you can just click on here. The minus button is going to close it. So just to make sure that it's make it easier for you to see what you want to see. Or the second option is if you come in here on the top where it says 1 and 2, if you just click, it's going to open every all of these collapses. So you can just like see whatever way that you works for you. And if you click on 1, it's going to collapse and you are back with this view. So let's say we want to work with the first day of August, which is a Friday. And if you remember, we have four inputs here. So for let's say 8, 8:50, 11:30, and 3:40. And if you see here, first, second, third, and fourth. So all of these are basically auto-populated based on whatever you entered, and the class content and schedule is basically populating from this sheet right over here. Let's say you input something in here. Let's say you inputted 1, but let's say you change your mind and you don't want to change this right over here. So like you mentioned that you don't want to change the master data, you only want to change directly in this here. So for example, if you come in here, let's say you don't want to teach the first class, you want to teach the second. Instead of doing anything, you can just like type in 2, for example 2, and it will automatically change it. Let's say you don't want to teach for PA1, you want to teach for PA2, you could just type in for PA2 and it's going to show its content. Or let's say if you want to teach any other class, let's say this one or this one, you could just copy paste its code and it's going to get its information right over here. But once you do it, the formula will no longer be here. So just be aware of that. Then you would have to copy paste the formula to make it work. So only make the changes when it's absolutely necessary. Otherwise, I would recommend to go back in the plan input and change it the way you want it to be. So for the plan input, let's say you want to enter something, let's say for October. So instead of let's say you can come down and find all of that, you could just click on let's say October, and it's going to open the month of October for you, and you can easily plan which time do you want to teach the class and which day do you want to teach the class. So that's that as well. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Once you have added everything here, it's going to turn green. So you would know which classes you have entered the content for, which days you don't have entered the content for, and which days you have had that. And the dashboard currently it's nothing much because I did not really have that much data, but like you sent me the sheet, so I could look into integrating that. But remember, the more data that we enter into it, it's going to affect the file's functionality. But so far, this is what we have done. If you have any questions on that, you can let me know. And then after that, we could look into the stuff that you sent me later. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions.